All right, what's going on? It's the JAMARI podcast, episode 7. Yep. I'm here with my co-host Dave, back. And yes, sir, we're back once again. We took a little break last week because we got a little bit busy. They were doing some work here at my house.
Yep, life got in the way.
Life got in the way. Birthdays got in the way. It was actually both of our birthdays last week.
We're both a year older now.
How many?
Look older.
Well, how many birthdays have we known each other?
20 plus maybe? No. Around there, you think?
It's like 18 maybe.
18, somewhere.
17.
Around. Yeah. I mean, a lot of trips around the sun. Yeah. Good amount.
Because we met each other about 4th grade. Mm-hmm. We both just turned 24. How do you feel about 24, man?
Yeah, it's wild. I'm feeling older, especially when I'm around like my niece and nephew.
Oh yeah.
I'm just not young anymore. You're not hip. You're not cool.
You're not
watching. They don't want to kick it.
You're not watching Paw Patrol.
Oh no, they don't have me on that one yet.
Yeah, but my little god brother loves Paw Patrol, bro.
That's his show.
I think he's growing out of it though, because he finally got a Nintendo Switch. And you know, once you get that first video game console, it's really all over.
Yep, that's all they're doing, right? Just hanging out playing video games. My youngest one, or my nephew hasn't played. He's probably gonna be 6, 7, around there. He just started talking like complete sentences, really. Okay. So that's a crazy stage when they go from not talking to saying like words every day, every hour. Yeah, they just want to talk. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like it's a weird thing to experience, seeing someone
go from learn being the a baby to like that shit
and using words and saying stuff, actual sentences.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to watch people grow up now that you're older. Something else I've realized as I've gotten older is like when you're young, you don't really realize what someone's all about. Even like someone in your family, someone that your family knows that's an adult. You're like, some people seem so like they're always a little bit off, but you don't know why. And then like one day you're like, oh, I realize why now that I'm an adult. Like they had this type of problem. Like maybe they were an alcoholic or
they grew up with something like that.
Like someone like your friend's parents or something like.
Yeah, you just thought they were a stranger or something. You didn't see the background of.
Or they seem perfectly normal, you know, and then go through all this stuff. All of a sudden, they're both their parents are dating 20-year-olds. I knew a guy that his parents were married for like 20 years, so they were probably both in their 40s, mid 40s, and then they got divorced, and within like a month, they were both dating people that were like in their 20s.
Way younger.
They were the same age as my friend.
That's happened to an aunt and one of my uncles, that they've split, and like he went to dating someone that's my age, like maybe younger than I am. And I was like, what? And when I heard it, I was like, Jesus, what the hell happened?
Right now, at the age of 24, what's the youngest age of a girl you would date?
Oh, I don't think I can go younger than 20. They can't. No.
Yeah, probably 21 too.
20,
so they can
21.
At least drink with you.
Yeah. She has to be able to get into the bars.
Yeah, 21's good. 3 years ain't bad.
But I don't know. I don't know if I want to go back to the dating game. Not anytime soon.
How long have you been single?
Maybe 2+ years, maybe 2.5, maybe going around there.
Yeah, that's when you're getting into the deep range, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just giving it up. Moving out to the country one day, being on my own. Hunting, fishing, trapping.
You might as well bring an old girl out there.
She could visit.
Find an old girl to bring.
Yeah, if we could both agree to move to the woods.
Sleep in separate cabins.
And visit, raise a couple youngins.
If you find the right type of girl.
Maybe.
Low maintenance type of girl, sounds like.
I want to both agree to delete all our social medias. I want to be off the grid.
Completely off the grid? Like you don't want to be checking any social media?
Yeah, no. I just want to play golf and then that's it.
Interesting.
Be in the woods.
But at what age do you want to do this?
ASAP, as soon as I can.
Oh,
and
man.
have a horse or something.
Yeah, I mean, I do see that somewhere in my future, but not till I'm pretty old.
No, I want to do it quick.
Why, you think the world's ending soon, so you might as well get it over with? I don't know if it's just me, but I've been kind of getting that vibe.
That's all going to shit?
Yeah, especially after that presidential debate. It was a pretty rough... I mean, don't get me wrong. We were texting about it. I told him it was very entertaining. 10 out of 10 entertainment.
It was funny, right? Like there's parts where you're like,
you can't believe
comedic.
It's real.
This has comedic timing.
The whole thing was comedic. They're talking about people's lives. They're talking about very serious topics, and they're just like, how do you say it? Like taking low blows at each other the whole time.
Yeah, it didn't seem very productive. I think it could have gone a lot better. I think
the thing is, well, they need to be able to mute the other person's mic.
Yeah, they probably should have thought about that right a little bit before. And they have talked about in the next two that they're gonna mute someone's mic. I don't know if they'll actually do it, but
well, yeah, I mean it's gonna be Trump. Sometimes he was completely dominating not only Joe Biden, but also the moderator. That moderator was weak as fuck.
Whoever his like campaign managers are, I think they should have advised him, not to be so aggressive. Let him finish the question. Cause
do you feel like he kind of dropped the ball? Because if your whole thing that he's kind of running on is that Joe Biden is not competent, you would think you would want him saying these long drawn out answers.
So he can like fumble over himself. I think once Biden started, telling him to shut up and calling him a clown, it got into his ego, and he was like, he just wanted to go, to cut him off.
That was a chess move by Joe Biden,
right? Yeah, and then from that point on, he couldn't let him finish a sentence. He couldn't let him continue. He could have just fumbled him over himself if he just let him talk a little bit. But he went after his ego. It got into his head, and that's like part of the planning. I want to say, like his campaign manager probably told him.
They got Trump on this one.
Yeah, they probably told him, hey man, just tell him to shut up, call him a clown or something, and then he'll explode, do what he usually does. He should have,
should have played it cool, dude.
He could have, yeah. He should have just relaxed, let him talk. And
but I thought they both physically looked better than they've looked in a long time. Like you could tell they got them ready for this debate. They cut Joe's hair.
Him up. Yeah.
They gave Joe that 70-year-old man haircut.
His eyes looked kind of crazy to me. Like his pupils looked giant to me.
They're both, on at least Adderall. You have to be. I mean, if I was going to go out there and do that type of debate, I would probably take at least an Adderall or something like that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it. What about afterwards when you're just crashed?
Who cares, bro? You're probably in a constant state of crash. Imagine.
No, it's not worth it. That's probably like the worst I've ever felt is a day after taking like an Adderall or something for studying or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel fantastic during it. You're like just going, taking notes. I took notes for the whole night one time.
Well, I think everyone during college had at least one phase where they took a couple Adderalls.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a hold of some, maybe.
Or some Vyvanse?
Yeah, it was a Vyvanse that I took. And I literally took notes. Like, I filled out so many pages of notes and just...
I found it...
all night.
I just found it very hard to concentrate when I took it.
I have felt that the first time. Like, I was concentrating on other things that I wasn't studying anymore. Yeah, so that was kind of counterproductive, but... I did feel it one night where I was just like studying. I think I had like a handful that I just managed to get my hands on, and then I just took them like throughout. Whenever I felt like I needed like a big study night or something. But
so you think you're a person that would like stimulants?
Yeah, I think I would like them too much. Yeah, that's why I've never done like coke.
Yeah,
exactly, no, I've always stayed away from it. I've had like close siblings that have gotten in trouble with it and gotten in,
and
like,
if that's already in your bloodline, you don't want to mess with it.
I've always felt like I would like those like way too much.
One time, I was chilling. It was in college. I was at the apartment, and this guy comes over. And when someone comes over and because we're living in a 4-bedroom, so there's a lot of people coming over.
Yeah, some of your roommates' friends or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And when someone comes over and they just carry like a dark energy. I mean, it's obvious, bro.
You feel their aura.
But that's why, first of all, I'm just going to say, like, that's one of the reasons me and Dave have been such good friends for so long, is because Dave, first of all, we've always been the type of guy that if I want to go somewhere, I just hit up Dave and we go. I mean, for a long-ass time, bro. and it's because I think we like going places together because we both understand, first of all, that if shit's going down, like, we're out. Right? I mean, that's pretty much always been our motto. We're out. And that's why I fuck with this guy. Like, I don't fuck with people that when shit's going down, they want to stay and watch. No, I am out.
I want to peek their head in, see what happens next.
And that's what I mean. That's why we've always been friends, because he's a real sensible dude right here. You know what I mean?
You gotta know when to go, right? You gotta know when to leave.
You
gotta know when the cops coming.
Yes, like we're always kind of on the same page. Like there's been multiple times I'm like, we gotta bounce, and he's like, yeah, for sure. Like I could tell he's already thinking about it.
I think it was maybe freshman, sophomore year when we threw this giant party for both of our birthdays.
It's freshman year, man.
Like everyone came. I remember feeling the apartment like actually moving.
I'm gonna see if I can. I have videos on my old phone. I'm gonna see if I can put videos in the podcast.
I have some too. Yeah. Well,
do you have them like on hand? Or like you have them in your cloud or something?
Like shit? I have them in my file. I'd have to look for them.
I need them for sure.
Yeah, it was.
So I can show off. This was right before what I like to call like the societal fallout, where everything changed. Everyone at that time was super cool. We had just gotten to college, and it was in 2015, so it was right before 2016 when Trump got elected.
Yeah.
On that day, bro, I remember going to school and it was like quiet. Like it was just it was weird. It was like a different vibe. Because I felt like everyone thought it was so impossible for him to win. And then all of a sudden he won, because all you ever heard leading up to the election was Hillary is ahead in the polls.
Right.
There's no way Trump can win. The media worked against itself, because I think so many people thought, oh, she has it in the bag, that a lot of people didn't go vote.
Yeah. Not a lot of people thought he was going to win. And then he surprised everyone, you know.
That's why people do not underestimate Trump again this year. Like, he has a very good chance of winning, because no matter what he says, the people who are Trump people are already Trump people. And Joe Biden has a whole lot of convincing to do.
I think they both lost in this debate, but Biden still has a lot of ground to make up.
America,
you know?
I've seen a lot of people just saying America took the L in this debate.
America took
straight up. But I don't understand why. Like, Trump should take the move to have more humility now that he's already in the place he's in.
Yeah, I think that's
because the only reason he acts like that is because he knows. I mean, partially that's got to be his narcissistic personality, but also he knows that that's what the people who support him want to see. They want to get riled up. They want a guy who doesn't give a fuck.
He's not a politician, right?
Yes, they want to not.
He's not well groomed. He's not gonna censor himself. He doesn't have a filter. He's gonna go out there and, you know, call people hiding Biden, call people
Pocahontas.
Yeah, he's gonna pick on people. He's gonna bully people, right? And some people like that. Some people got attracted to that.
Well, I thought one of the weirdest things he said when he was up there was like when he just randomly was like, "Well, I brought back college football."
Oh yeah, he did, but I don't know. I mean, there's no fans, right? So no one's going to the games. No one's buying tickets. I don't think in college.
Not
in college, yeah. I know in like maybe high school I've seen some fans.
High school, there's definitely fans, and in some pros there's fans.
Which is cool. I mean, if I was playing, I would want to play. I wouldn't want to skip out on a year. It's definitely, I think it's changed. I don't know if it's mutated or what's happened, but it's not like sending people to the hospital like it was in the earlier parts of lockdown.
I mean, of course it's still going to be killing people, but I know that the hospitalization rate has gone way down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
to where like if you get it, like before, if you got it, there wasn't a for sure chance you were going to get a ventilator. There wasn't a for sure chance you were going to get into the hospital. Yeah, they were sending people home to die. Mm-hmm. But now it seems like even if you get it, you'll at least have access to good care.
Yeah, it's still messed up. Like they're still not letting you go to see them. Like if like I have a relative who's sick, like cancer. But we can't like go visit her in the hospital. Yeah. We can only like talk over the phone. So.
Yep. I mean, it's been like that since March, because that's how my grandfather was. He was in the hospital for 15 days by himself before he eventually passed away. And I think that really impacted his health, you know, and because when you're in that state, your mental is more important than anything.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, right?
To have to be alone.
When like my mom's side of her father, so my grandfather, when he's like passing away, he had cancer for a while, but he was still there in like his bed. He was still alive. But have you ever heard that they wait for like someone to come visit them before they actually pass away?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like he didn't go until my brother actually came to see him. I don't know it took him so long to come visit, but like after that is when he actually passed away.
This was your grandfather?
Yeah. So like he kind of raised my brother more and stuff. I don't know, I guess it's just hard for to see him in that state, but he was still there, and like he was breathing and stuff until my brother came, visited him, you know, got to see him, talked to him a little bit, and then like the day or maybe that night, then he finally passed away, which is like, it was crazy because like the people that work there, they said like, no, that's like a thing that happens, like they can't really explain it, but they'll wait for like one of their close relatives or someone to actually make it to come visit them.
Well, because I think that if you get to the point where you're so old and like an illness is taking you to where like you have a last breath and stuff, because some people die, you know, of course you can die in an accident, you can have a heart attack, you can just die all of a sudden is what I'm trying to say. When you go that way, I think it's more like you actually have to accept like, this is it, I'm dead.
Yeah, there's no fighting it. You can't be there for
no matter how hard you fight. I mean, because my grandfather was 78. He got pancreatic cancer, and he had it for like a year and a couple months. And when they diagnose you with that type of stuff, usually they say this person's probably only gonna live for a couple of months, because that type of cancer usually goes undetected because it's in your pancreas. So there's no like usually obvious signs of what's going on. And they said for him to even fight that long was like amazing. And I just remember, you know, because that was the first person that I ever was in person when they passed away.
Yeah, like you got to experience and be a part of it. Yeah, it's a crazy thing. Like even just think about it, just to be around, experience.
Yeah,
I know my great grandmother, when she was in that stages, they actually gave her like THC oil. Yeah, but like that side of the family and like her have always been against any kind of, you know, drugs or anything, which is kind of a stigma, right? Just because it's a different, I guess, type of drug.
Well, and they're from such a different generation.
Right, exactly, yeah. So like they're from that generation where it was all propaganda, all stigmatized. If you're smoking weed or anything, you're gonna go crazy. They didn't know anything about it, but they were giving her this oil, and like she was able to eat, she was able to like sit up and watch her shows. Like for a while she was just in pain, like in bed, just in pain, but this oil, like, you know, brought her appetite back. She was feeling well in her final days. It was kind of crazy, you know, to see that side of the family change a little bit on
their views.
On their views, and like be open to this, you know, it's not maybe like pain pills or something from the doctor, but it's still helping her maybe 10 times over.
Yeah,
they're definitely from that era of like reefer madness. The weed's awful. If you're smoking any kind of weed or anything, you're gonna go crazy.
Well, and that's what they push to people our parents' age too.
Oh, so
they believed it as well growing up.
Really, really hard, right?
Some of them, a lot of them were smoking weed. They were smoking Reggie. I mean, weed was still popping back then.
Oh yeah, they had different types then, right? Because our weed is like so fucking strong. You just take a little puff, you'd be dead if you get the right kind.
Well,
like,
even in the 90s, that's when they started having hybrids like Chronic and shit.
And started making the real one. I feel like back then they had to smoke so much more. Like you had to smoke maybe 3 or 4 joints to feel what you would feel off of one that we have right now.
Oh yeah, but back then, I think your mind was so much less polluted with bullshit, and like people didn't just stare at screens all day. Like I think that seriously fucks with your minds.
Yeah.
I think your mind was very clear, and you could just focus on the high. I think it was more natural. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff now, who even knows how natural it is? People are growing it in a laboratory.
It has pesticides in the backyard.
It has pesticides. I mean, there's a lot of variables. It's almost like, you know, before when the 80s, when the cocaine came in from Colombia, it was all pure cocaine, so people weren't getting necessarily so fucked up. The reason people
dying off fentanyl,
people die and shit right now is because a lot of this stuff is cut with bullshit. You know, it ain't pure cocaine. No matter, probably if you're buying it from one of the best sources, you could still get fucked.
Yeah, it's pretty scary too, especially those different type of drugs. Because I don't know, like compared weed to coke is like two completely different things, and both of them have been stigmatized as just drugs. So I don't know, you get this stigma of, even if you're smoking, you're kind of categorized as people that are maybe doing lines or something like that, or
for a long time. But I think people are finally starting to see the light. Like anyone under the age of 35 knows that that's horseshit.
Yeah, but like the older generations, I don't know if they'll ever see that.
I think the people that are our parents' age are starting to realize that.
There's supposed to be this like vote in September on marijuana legalization, I want to say, or maybe decriminalization. I know in
Texas?
In Austin, in Texas. I know they've stopped giving tickets. Like, so if they pull you over or something, Austin, they won't give you any tickets.
But it's funny because if you're in Austin and you can get caught with a bunch of weed and they won't do anything, they'll confiscate your weed. That's it.
They'll probably do something else. They'll flip your car or something, or
depending on if they like
rifle
you or not.
through it. Yeah,
depends.
If you've been a jerk to them or something. Cool.
I made this video talking shit about the people like who had to miss their senior graduations and shit. I don't know if you ever saw that. But now I do feel bad for you guys, like, because you never know.
You miss a lot of memories that year.
Well, now I bet they're trying not to miss them.
I'm sure they're going out, breaking quarantine, breaking the rules.
Well, I think quarantine is essentially over.
No one's enforcing it anymore.
They just can't, because people are pretty much back to work and kids are back to school, and things aren't going that bad. I
kind of hope it'll end soon.
I hope it ends with the election. I've told you this a couple times. I really hope it ends with the election.
I think I want things to go back to sort of normal. And I mean, I didn't really ever go out that too much often before, but it's nice. Like
there's a big difference when it's your choice and when it's not your choice.
And when I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, because you would you consider yourself introverted?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, I don't go out like crazy often. I like to go out every once in a while.
You're the type of dude though, every once in a while you need to, right? Or you start feeling antsy.
Yeah, and then I want to go poke my head out, see what I can see,
I need to at least go to a restaurant. I used to be the type of dude that needed to go to I need to go to at least a party like every once in a while and stuff like that, a bar or something.
If it's a good one.
But now that things have been like this for a while, I have gotten used to just chilling for the most part. I've gone to a couple restaurants, but I haven't gone to any sort of event in months. Have you?
No, none that I can really think of.
I'm actually going to the Dallas Cowboys game this Sunday, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be a good way to get ready. I've played a lot of golf, like more golf than I've played in my entire life. Because that's really like the only thing that's stayed open, right? Before, I mean, the city courses will kind of shut down, but other courses will stay open. And they've been packed, like tee times, just like you have to sign in like 2 weeks before, maybe 3 weeks.
I mean, it's just been a weird time. Like I said, I hope it ends with the election. One final word on it. What do you want to see at the next debate?
I want to see Joe Rogan moderating it.
But what do you want to see mainly from the candidates? And what do you want to see, differently about the setup to it? Joe Rogan would be a good moderator.
See Joe Rogan moderating it. I want to see it happen here in Texas. I don't want to be there live.
But Joe, man, everyone says he's going downhill. They don't fuck they don't fuck with his new studio at all.
No one likes it. And Spotify's going to censor him, man. He signed his life away.
He did. I mean, I made a video about it, and some people on there saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," or that it's bullshit, and the Spotify can do whatever they want because they're a private company. I guarantee you guys that Joe has a million clauses in his contract that say that he has free roam over what he says on the podcast, or he's out. I promise you, he would not have signed this deal without that policy. He's not an idiot, but he wants to play the game well. Still, he wants to appease them. They just gave him $100 million. He's not just going to come in there and you see, guys. When you go in there and you fuck up a little bit too much, and when you want to cause too much of a stir, they're just going to say, "Fuck you, we're out." Look what
get out of here.
Like, look what happened. I don't know if you follow the Joe Budden podcast, but they've been having some big beef with Spotify.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they basically don't want to pay them their due diligence. They got into a really bad contract a couple of years ago. And it was before podcasting had really taken off. So, like, let's say it's around 2018, right? And I'm like, oh, man, like, $1 million in podcasting, that sounds like a bunch. So we're all going to get, me and all my crew is going to get $1 million or whatever it was. I don't know exactly what it was. But it's like, man, that sounds amazing. But then in 2 years, the market shifts where I should be making $20 million.
It took off.
$30 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so you're still making the one.
They wanted their bigger cut.
Old contract.
Apparently, they wanted some sort of equity in the company, and Spotify said they're out. So now Joe Budden has basically been on a rampage saying "fuck Spotify." He's created his own network, which I think is dope, though. because
his own Spotify,
his own podcasting network.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think that's really actually
I mean,
exciting.
That's a free market, right?
Independent,
that's how it goes.
So like people are definitely like that helps other podcasters in terms of leverage.
Because other podcasters can go in there.
You could go into the big wigs and say, well, I can just be more independent and go sign with someone like the Joe Budden Network, and I'm gonna own my rights to everything. Probably they're not gonna take any rights to my show.
Make the own money.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always liked I watched the Rogan one a lot.
But have you watched since they made the switch?
Some. He's starting to have he'll have repeat people on. I watched a lot of the Musks when I think he's only had one with Elon. He's had the Air Force pilot. I watched that one. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I want to say is his name.
Yeah.
I watched that one a good amount.
He had him recently, I think. He's had him probably.
I mean, within the past.
The last Joe Rogan interview I watched was. Well, first of all, I never watched the whole thing. They're long. Some of them are 3 hours long.
If the person's interesting, and then I watch them. Like Jocko Willink, I watched those throughout.
Have you seen his things with Bill Burr?
Yeah, Bill Burr. I watched
that. That's probably the last one I watched was with Bill Burr. Other than that, I'm not.
I think that's my favorite.
I've said in the past, I'm not big on Joe Rogan podcast really. I mean, I watch the clips all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't watch the whole podcast. It's too much, man. and a lot of times, the people on there, they're not necessarily talking about something I don't care about, but it's something I'm kind of just okay, I get it. You just go on with it. You know what I mean?
It's the new studio's gonna get to him, man. They should have just kept it the same.
The new everything.
Just moved to the studio.
The studio looks like shit. It does. It looks like it's inside of a dog's asshole. Looks bad.
Oh, it's got to be in Lake Travis somewhere, right?
It
on
is.
The lake.
Did you see his $100 million mansion?
Here in Texas? No.
Yeah, it's on Lake Travis.
That's where they all move.
Or not 100 million. It's like 14 million. But still, of course, that's where he's gonna move. That's the nice part of Austin.
It's where the rich. There's this school.
That's not even really Austin, though.
No, not really.
They say, oh, Joe Rogan moved to Austin. He didn't move to Austin. He moved to the ritzy area of Austin. It's not really.
When I started in Austin delivering, I would deliver in that area, and Lake Travis is nice, but the kids that go to Regents is the nice. That's the top 1% of the Lake Travis kids. It's incredible. The houses were stupid. I had no idea people lived like this. Giant. I've never seen a home like this, and all of them were like that. And it would take I don't know, a good amount to walk up just to their front door, leave their package and then come back. They're the nicest homes I've ever seen.
When the Chick-fil-A is made of bricks, that's how you know
that's how the community
you're in a rich area.
The community was
when every
crazy.
single business looks ritzy, even if it's a fucking Little Caesars, that's how you know you're in Westlake.
And the thing that blew my mind is sometimes there would be such a nice community, but if you went down the street or something, there'd be a really lower community that maybe needed help or.
That's everywhere.
And they're so close, not even 100 yards away, and it was just the level of.
You turn down one street, it's rich. You turn on the other street, it's poor.
Yeah,
and they go to different schools too.
But
that's how. So that's how. That's what I mean. That's how racist. Even shit like that is the zoning for schools and stuff. If they want to keep a certain demographic of people out, they're gonna pay to keep them out, man.
Yeah.
Even if they have to build new homes and shit, they're gonna it goes so much deeper than what people think. I mean, you remember in our high school, for our first 2 years we went there, it was I would say 90% white, 10%, 9% Mexican, 1% black. Mm-hmm. And by the end of our time there, it was more 50% Mexican, 50% white, because they started importing a bunch of people from this other middle school. They were Mexican. Because remember, we stopped going to school with all these Mexicans for a couple years, and then all of a sudden they all came back. And there was a definite shift in the way they in the freedom they gave us at the school. Right when they made that change, they stopped letting people go off campus to eat lunch. they stopped letting people wear hats because they said they were gang affiliated. Before, like, they used to let you wear hats to this school. Isn't that crazy?
They did, right? I remember being excited for that. I was like,
we were so excited because we were baseball players.
Yeah, I was like, what? I can wear hats?
Had an extensive collection of hats. I still do.
I think maybe like a day or two into it, they said no to the hats.
Oh, I think it was before school. Or yeah, like a day or two, they were like, too many hats. Oh, we know y'all are in gangs. Like, no one here is in a gang. Man. Yeah, no one here is in a gang. Can we just take a second to acknowledge how sick and nasty this camera angle is? Just my legs on full spread and my feet, and Dave just chilling in his boots off camera.
These are my work ones. They're actually I was looking for them. No, they're called Lems.
Show them to the camera one time. It's finally getting cold here in Texas.
They're waterproof, so that's what I needed them for. Because when it rains, I mean, you're just out there delivering
and slipping around and shit. Yeah, on people's toe.
And like your feet get wet, and that's the worst part when your feet are wet.
And your socks get wet.
Yeah, you're just like, this is awful.
Are they steel toe?
No, they're just like kind of like a little leather maybe.
You know,
but they're barefoot, so like your foot's really flat. Like there's no heel to it. There's no and they feel amazing. Like my feet, I'm walking all day, so my feet haven't hurt since I've gotten them.
So like, people from New York are onto something, huh?
The barefoot technology,
the freaking Tim technology,
the Tims. These are limbs.
Limbs, man. Yeah. You got the Alibaba version. Well, because like people hear that a lot of times they're either gonna wear work boots like that or wear like cowboy boots. And I remember one day, like my girlfriend's dad I showed up to football, or like it was raining wherever we were going, and I was wearing like an old ass dirty ass pair of Air Forces because it was fucking raining. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, you don't have a pair of work boots?" I'm like, no, like why the fuck would I have a pair of work boots? You know what I do for a living? And he's like, he just looked at me like I was such a fucking pussy. And I'm like, who gives a fuck if you wear work boots?
When I first got them, I was like, man, I don't know if I really like them. But then I put them on, and I was like, they're too comfortable to not wear. So I've been wearing them ever since.
Well, Dave is tall enough to he can wear high top shoes.
Like I'm
too short to wear high top shoes. I look fucking stupid.
They're probably my favorite ones because I like high tops. I don't know.
I've tried wearing high top high top Vans and shit. I look fucking retarded.
What? Nah.
I do. I swear to God, I do. I look so stupid because I'm too short. I'm just a little bit too short in my body. More importantly, my body's too stocky. You need to have a long body to wear. I'm serious. I mean, people try it, but they look stupid. I've tried it and look dumb. Like I told Dave before, I'm the type of person that if I have somewhere really important to go, I always fuck up how I dress because I overthink it and I wear some shit I would have never worn.
Get excited.
I overthink it, man. Day. Got 20 different shirts sitting on the bed.
I'm nervous. Like I think I'm going to a wedding tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm excited about what I'm going to be wearing, but it's too late, right? It's getting up to that point where it's too late.
What's wrong with it?
I think like the shirt I have is just, I don't know if it's not as dressy as I think it should be, but that's what I'm gonna have to be wearing.
It's a
shirt underneath a blazer.
It's a quarantine wedding, my man.
It's a different life now, right?
Cut the frills, man.
I make the rules.
Frills are cut these days.
At one point I wanted to get like a cowboy hat to wear or something, but I haven't found one that I like.
I'm surprised.
Or like a gambler's hat. Have you seen those? Those are cool.
Like a Scarface hat or some shit?
It's like a cowboy hat, but it's just shaped different.
It's smaller, right?
Brim. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller. Yeah. It's kind of
like a cowboy hat's a little dramatic, but the other hat sounds dope. The other hat sounds dope.
Yeah, I want to find a nice hat.
Well, I know cowboy hats can range in like the thousands of dollars and shit.
Some of them are expensive as shit, yeah. I went by to get a belt today, and I saw like their most expensive one was like $590, and I was like, "Geez, for one hat, that's who's coming in and buying that? Who's baller like that and just coming spending it on a hat?" I used to think
$35 was a lot for a hat at Lids back in the day. Shit, I didn't know there was cowboys out here spending their fucking arm and leg
dough, spending that real dough.
Cowboy drip for the
for
boots,
the cowboy drip.
The boots with the spurs.
And the jacket.
True Religion jeans.
And you gotta get a nice blazer.
Wait, what is it? They wear Lucky jeans?
Wear Wranglers.
I remember these guys used to play on my baseball team. They were all country and shit. And they'd be like, yeah, I got these $200 pair of, what's it called? Lucky jeans. Lucky jeans or whatever the fuck. Lucky brands.
I don't know. I want to find a nicer hat. Because when you're delivering, I like sun hats. So, yeah, I have like an old one, but it's falling apart. Yeah, I know you got that old black hat. Yeah, it's falling apart.
So you excited for the wedding though to be in it? Are you in it or are you just going?
No, I'm just like going. Okay. Yeah, I didn't make the cut.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just going. I'll be there, hanging out. Maybe dance with an ex-girlfriend. I don't know.
Oh man, an ex-girlfriend's gonna be there for sure.
I think so, but it's like one that I like.
It's an old ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like one it's been so long.
It's like one that I want to see.
Yeah, because you're like, oh yeah, we were such. Well, some ex-girlfriends are like, oh, we were good friends.
Yeah, it's like if that didn't happen, you think we would have worked out or something like that.
Oh, it's one of those, and man, that's dangerous.
It is, yeah, it is dangerous.
Nah, I don't want to see any of those ex-girlfriends, man.
And only for this.
Have you ever been somewhere with a new girl and you see your ex-girlfriends?
I've been somewhere like with the person I was with and they saw like an old. Yeah, that's happened like multiple times.
Oh, that's happened.
This isn't a great
feeling. Because girls be freaking taking dudes to the same spots, man. You can't be like, if I've taken a girl to a spot more than 5 times, I'm never going there with another girl. Never. Never, because the old girl's probably still hanging out there.
Yeah, just waiting to see you. Waiting, feeling your energy.
I remember when we went here.
Do you remember this was our spot?
Yeah, it's the type of thing they'd say if they tried to reconnect. Meet me at the Chili's on Broadband.
At our Chili's.
Stat. Make it stat. I already know your drink order. Nah, man, I haven't seen any of my ex-girlfriends in a long time. Like my ex-girlfriend from high school one time though. So my dad was eating at Wingstop. This was right before the pandemic.
Uh-huh.
And one of my ex-girlfriends is an ex-girlfriend I dated when I was from 16 to 18. And the last time I ever tried to date her, I was like 20. And she just comes up, apparently I wasn't there, but she comes up from behind and like covers my dad's eyes.
Oh.
Like, what like kind of move is that when you haven't seen someone in so many years?
Guess who?
Yeah, guess who looking ass.
Who the fuck?
I was pissed. My dad told me that. Like, really? That bitch came in there with that move? I was pissed off, man. And she's like asking about me and shit. He's doing fine. He's doing great, better than ever.
There's only been a couple girls that I've introduced, like, tagged my actual family. One that my grandmother just will not, like, she always asks us about her every time. And, like, we've been over this, so, like, sorry, Grandma, it's over.
She still asks about her?
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst.
Goodness. I'm like
what happened with that one? You're like, I've had, like, 4 girlfriends since
yeah. Like, we've been over this. We were over this multiple times last time, yeah. And, like, last time my brother was with me, and he was like, Grandma! It's like, they're done. It's like, they're never going to be a thing.
Yeah, it's the worst, man. Yeah. One time on a first date, I saw an ex-girlfriend was working at the place we went to.
At the actual place?
Yeah, and it was awkward. I was like, please don't spit in the drinks.
Please be nice.
Because there's one of those ex-girlfriends that for some reason you feel like she still hates you for no reason.
I feel like all of them kind of do in a way, right? It's just
some of them hate you. Some of them probably still love you. No, I'm just playing, but
they'll show it the same way.
They could. I mean, I'm sure there's some ex-girlfriends where it's like, yeah, you could get them back, right?
I don't know.
Like from throwbacks. But I always noticed, like, when I would date a girl and then I'd be like, man, I miss that girl. Like, I want to be with her again. And it had been a long time. When I would go out on a date with her, whatever it was, it would always end up be like,
wasn't the same.
I see every reason why we broke up again.
It's not the same. It's a whole new person.
It's a whole new person. They've probably done some whole new things. Like, hey, where'd you learn how to do that? You know? All of a sudden, it's getting awkward, man. Yeah. So, I mean, once you're done with someone, for me, it's like pretty much done. Like, I've tried to go back a couple times, like, and go on dates and stuff, and it never materializes into a relationship again. Never. I don't think even once it's really happened. But Do you have you had the type of relationships that just crash and burn? Or are they slow fade out?
I've had a few crash and burns, I guess. I've only had like a handful of girls that I've actually dated. I guess.
Where you told them, will you be my girlfriend and shit?
Right, yeah. Only like a handful. But yeah, I guess a few crash and burns. Mainly ones that like they weren't, I guess we're friends, going out. Maybe just
was always out. Crash and burn when you don't want to commit? Or when someone doesn't want to commit?
Yeah.
Most of the time, like a lot of my relationships I've been in, it was that like friendship relationship, and then like the girl pushed it into a relationship.
And now y'all aren't even friends.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I mean, I have a girlfriend right now, so you're not gonna be friends with any of those people. But even when I was single, it's not like I would. Any of my ex-girlfriends are not the type of person I'd be hitting up. I'd probably try to hit up somebody new. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be single. But there's been times where I went through several people where we had like been talking, but I didn't want to date them because you can't just date everybody you talk to. You gotta select someone after a while. Some people I think are antsy and they jump for the first person they see.
I feel like a lot of people have like broken up and then moved on really, really quick, and that's a weird thing.
During this time too, especially.
Yeah, that too. But just
I think a lot of people have broken up during this time.
Yeah. Apparently, the divorce rate's gone everywhere around the world that's had lockdowns. Like the divorce rate has gone up.
Have you known anyone like our age that's gotten married and already been divorced?
Not our age. No. I'll be very fast.
I know some people that we went to high school with that now are already married for like 2 and 3 years.
That have been married a while.
Yeah. And they talk like they have the answers to the fucking world. Like, suck a fucking dick. No one gives a fuck. Like, just because you got married doesn't mean that you have all the answers.
That you're the oracle. I don't know if I would want to get married very soon. I have this theory that the youngest in the family gets the height. So, like, I'm the youngest, I get the height. Like, in my family, there's, like, my dad's friend, his youngest boy is, like, really, really tall. I don't know. That's just my theory.
It's true. I mean, now I'm thinking about it. I think it is true.
I think it is.
But the world knows that you're gonna have another kid, so make the first one shorter. What?
I think you just have to wait. Like, my dad was maybe in his 30s when he had me, so I just have to wait until then.
No one in my family is tall, though. I mean, we have people
not
that
even
are
the
tall.
Youngest.
Oh yeah, we have a couple. We have a couple, but like they're only tall because whoever like their mom, whoever was outside of my family, like related to me, was tall. So like my uncle's married a woman and she had tall brothers or something like that.
Yeah. On my dad's side, there's not a lot of tall people.
They're tall. You're tall because of your mom, right? Because your brother from your mom is tall too, right?
He's about shorter. He's about the same height that I am, maybe a little bit.
Your brother, your dad's son is shorter than him, right?
Yeah, he's maybe about the same height as my dad is. Okay. They're both kind of short.
Yeah, your dad's not that tall.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's kind of strange.
So once you passed him, or is it weird? Because I'm like the same height as my dad.
I don't know. I was like younger. I was like middle school or high school.
In middle school, right?
Yeah, around there.
I hope my son can be so blessed to be that tall. You know. Yeah, I never had a point in my life where it was like, man, I grew 5 inches in one summer. I've told Dave this before. I remember one summer he grew, I swear, like half a foot.
In the summer,
I seen him.
I guess I never really realized it.
I seen him and he got so tall. And I was like, damn, this dude's like a foot taller than me now. It was like going into high school.
I did realize that there was one point where I kind of lost like a lot of coordination. Like when I was running and stuff.
Because
like
you got too tall too fast.
Maybe, man. I don't know.
I remember that you were falling all over the place.
Yeah, like it felt like I couldn't stand up. I was like, what is happening?
See, I've never had that problem because I've never grown that fast.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like in a whole new body.
But I think I grew till I was like 21 almost. That's the other thing.
And you kept on growing.
Yeah, because once you get your facial hair, you're done growing. Like we have a friend that's pretty short, and he got his facial hair young.
Yeah, when he was
he probably thought it was dope at the time, but now I bet he's like, man, cursed. I wish I had a couple more years of growing time.
Wish I was baby faced for a little longer. I've barely been able to, not really, but I hope I can eventually grow facial hair.
Oh yeah, I've been growing a mustache since I was like 12 years old. So you can't even grow the stash?
No, I mean it would take like a whole year maybe.
To grow a mustache?
Probably, yeah. Like, I mean, and it wouldn't even be like a good mustache.
So like the way I have this, you couldn't have it like this?
Probably not, no.
That's amazing to me because like our hair on our top of our head is really similar, I think, right?
Somewhat, maybe. Mine's pretty thin, maybe.
Oh, you think so? Okay, maybe our hair is different. I don't know.
Yeah, mine's very thin, straight.
Interesting.
No, if I let it grow out, it wouldn't be like a good mustache. It'd just be like a little one.
I've seen you grow a little beard sometimes, right? Like a little tiny, like
maybe if I grew it out a lot, then maybe
one day you just have to do it. That's how I did it. Because remember, for a long ass time, I would have just a shaved face. But then one day I said, "Fuck it," and it's so much more carefree. It's like always having makeup on or something. It is, man. It hides all your bad features.
I'd hope I get like a chin strap. I don't think I will, but I hope so.
A chin strap?
Yeah.
You're expecting to go from you can't grow a mustache to a chin strap? I can't really grow this facial hair. Like right now, I should actually have this shaved. If I was worried about looking like proper.
I might start like putting Rogaine or something. I've heard people put.
Dude,
do
you remember one of our friends would put Rogaine when we were very young?
I heard about it, but I didn't know if it was true.
Was he serious?
I don't know, but it grew.
It was the same guy, right? Was it the same guy we were talking about a second ago, man? Oh man.
And I don't know if it was true, but I might try it.
Things are not gonna, I think, feel normal for a long time, and it might just be because as everything got fucking crazy, we became adults. Like we really became adults. That's part of it too. But the world doesn't feel to me like it used to feel at all.
Yeah, I've always had this thing that like all this crazy shit has always gone on. We just are able to capture it now on video, and we can pass it around so much quicker and be like, "Hey, did you see that video?" Like you were saying, "Hey, did you see that video of the kid skiing?" And I was like, "No, I didn't see it yet." But
well, let's say this too. During the last presidency, did your political opinions change a lot?
Like during these past 4 years? Yeah, I mean, I've always thought your political leanings will lean more right as you get older. That's just what I've always thought. When you're younger, you're kind of more, free liberal, do what you want, kind of maybe more likely to experiment with stuff. But I think as you get older, you're more maybe taking care of a family. You want more safety, maybe more law and order type.
It's more stability.
Yeah,
and it's more like I'm doing this for myself. I mean, honestly, that's more of how it is. But
no, when I've been like, I guess I've always been kind of more liberalish, but as I've grown older, I've grown more into conservative, I guess.
Well, because Dave he went to school for political science. So I saw this funny ass video the other day, and I wanted to ask you about it because it's like it was talking about political science majors. I don't know if you saw it. It says, where is it? Put POV. You walk into a political science class, and it has these two people.
I don't like.
Oh, I have seen this. Yeah.
So is that how a lot of people were in your classes?
Yeah,
like, I mean, they were on one side or the other.
And it was just like a big discussion like that. Yeah,
dude.
People talking.
I would have fucking killed myself, dog.
Yeah, that's how a lot of the classes were. I mean, you just get into a big circle.
I'm sure people would get heated as fuck, dude.
And talk about shit.
Holy shit.
It was funny. Some people were really like they would come out with some good points on both sides.
Yeah.
On both sides, they would come out with some good points.
Because there's good points to where the other side they're hard to refute for sure.
Right.
I mean, on every side.
I mean, yeah. There's points where you can pick out and be like, oh yeah, that is a tough one.
Did someone ever say something that you were like, damn, like that's so true. Like I didn't ever think about it that way.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, where the whole class is like,
or was a lot of it the same thing, like people arguing the same 2 points?
Yeah, people would argue a bunch.
I'm sure there's so much just regurgitation of just horseshit.
Just going back and forth, of what they heard on TV and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there was classes where I was like, how is this even a class? Like,
it was
no
just
way.
People arguing the whole time.
Just people bickering and arguing. I was like, what are we doing? Like, I mean, I would be like, how is this a college credit that I'm gonna get credit for at the end of the day? I had a couple of them. I had one class where all I really had to do was badmouth Trump in any of my essays, and I would get a good grade.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the other thing. I would think the whatever the politics of the person teaching.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly how it was. Very
important.
Because I remember I was trying to do it on like the president of Mexico or something, and like he was like really critical about my essay, really stuff. So I like changed everything, and I just made it like bad mouthing Trump basically the whole time. Orange man bad, you know, all this kind of shit. And he loved it. He was like A plus. He's like, this is fantastic. Yeah. And I mean, it really wasn't. I was just saying what I thought he wanted to hear.
That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks that it has to be that way.
I mean, yeah, but it was.
But that's the
I got my grade. He got his stupid essay that he wanted.
But that's the problem with people that are involved in that field. I feel like a lot of times they can't be objective because they're so like emotional about their way they feel that there's no objectivity. Like to me, I'm someone that early on in my life I was very like, oh yeah, I'm a Democrat, and as I've gotten more money and as I've, you know, done a couple other things and seen the way Democrats can kind of be like some representation of the side, I'm more in the middle, I guess I should say. Like I'm really almost smack dab in the middle because there's people on both sides where I'm like, dude, you're so embarrassing. Like you're such a bad representation of your side. Because you're on both sides. There's people that are racist, and on both sides there's people that are just trying to cause problems.
They just don't know how to act. You know?
Trying to cause a problem, right? Looking for a problem. Yeah. When you're out here looking for a problem, no matter what side you're on, you're just a privileged person.
Yeah. And you're probably gonna find a problem too.
These days and age, you will find a fucking problem, my friend.
You're gonna find something.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, me and Dave can talk about this stuff, but I never feel like I don't give a fuck what Dave came on here and said. I wouldn't be like, oh man, like I can't believe that's the way he thinks about it. Like I just, there's some people that are so like that. So like, if you think this way, fuck you. You know.
Yeah, we're done, right?
I might be able to say like, oh, I think it's dumb. You think that, and he can say he thinks it's dumb. I think whatever. You know what I mean? I don't care because at the end of the day, these things are just topics. Like they are opinions on things, and people are gonna have different opinions because they have different outlooks on life. Everyone has a different perspective.
Yeah, this last presidency has really divided the people in that way, right? Where if you're like, oh, you support this guy. We can't. I mean,
it's been ever since even 2020, the last election.
They've been working on it for a while. The divide and conquer tactic. It's all chess, right? They all do little chess moves. The real people that control, it's all little chess. Throw a little pawn out there as a little distraction.
And people are so
set them up for my rook.
Well, people are so distracted that they don't realize it's more about what economic class you're in than anything.
Yeah, it's a good amount of
like I wrote this down the other day. A black kid in the hood and a white kid who has to grow up in the hood too are gonna have a way more similar life experience than a black kid who grows up in the suburbs and a black kid that grows up in the hood.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Because it's just your environment. Like at the end of the day, like because y'all are both poor, you're gonna have a way similar life experience than just because someone has the same skin color as you. But people will still see you the same for your skin color too. Like, have you ever felt like someone treated you a little bit? Like, have you ever felt like before you started talking, people thought you were gonna be like from Mexico? You know what I mean? Like not speaking English.
When I went to San Antonio.
Well, because you're like dark to the point where you look like the people that are from Mexico.
Right. Yeah. So when I was in San Antonio, they would hear me talk and then be like, "Oh, you're not from here, or you're not like where are you from? Because your accent and like the way you pronounce words is we don't recognize it," is what they would kind of say. But they definitely know I wasn't from San Antonio.
But they thought no. But I mean, did someone ever like
assume I would speak Spanish or something?
Yes, or like follow you around the store and stuff, because I know
that like I was going to steal something.
Well, because some people are really scared of people from Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some of the people from Mexico in Walmart and shit, and like these old creepy men. And you see them, man, they'll be like staring at your girl and shit.
They're making nervous.
You ever seen them?
Yeah. It's like depends on what kind of people are coming. There's the creepier, kind of more violent side, but there are like the nicer people that come too.
Of course, yeah. Well, my main thing is the ones at Walmart, man. Fucking staring. Like, I've seen them a lot. Like, it doesn't matter if I was with my sister, with a girlfriend, like, and they just stare. Like, they have no they don't understand the social aspects of America. That you're not supposed to just be staring like that. Like,
social cues.
I'll whoop your ass, old man. I'll beat the shit out of you. You better stop fucking staring.
No, when I would work retail in San Antonio, I would run into
and a bunch of people from Mexico, probably.
Yeah,
right?
They would call them the Nationals, I want to say, something like that. They had a name for them, but they would always come and spend hella money, and it would all be in cash. And like the most cash I've ever seen, it was from like, I was working like the baby section that day, and like it was this young girl came in with her group of friends, and like they were all like younger than middle school, and like just told her friends, get whatever you want, meet me at the front. She came, like put her little purse down, brought out the biggest stack of cash I'd ever seen, and just handed it to me, and was like, okay, I'll pay for all this stuff.
Those people were always wicked. The worst fucking customers. Leave the dressing room a fucking mess, because they think they can treat people however they want, because employees over there get treated like shit. Because have you been to Mexico?
No, not lately. When I was really young. Yeah,
oh, you gotta go sometime, my man. It's amazing. It's amazing. And
when I was young, yeah, it was a crazy thing to see all the architecture and stuff. But I hadn't been. I was maybe like 8 or 9.
I went there in 2018 with my family, and at that time I had Tinder on my phone, and I connected with so many transsexuals.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, when you're on Tinder, you're just swiping. Like, you don't read the profiles and shit. And, like, by the time I would connect with them, I'd be like, damn, this chick is a man.
When you would really examine the...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this, like, story of, like, my grandfather. My grandfather has a lot of brothers and sisters, but this one was, like, I guess they were around drinking age, and he had gone to this bar and, like, met this person, ended up talking to them, but it ended up being his brother, like dressed in drag. So like, yeah, it was like a crazy story that he just found. Like, I don't know what ended up happening, but I've always like remembered that story in my head, that he always met his brother and or ran into him basically, but he was dressed like as a woman basically.
Oh shit.
That's kind of
and they never talked about it?
I don't even know if they ever really talked again.
Have you ever been to a drag show?
No, I know like what they are and stuff.
I've been to one. Really? On someone's birthday, yeah.
Was it a good show?
It was cool. I mean, whatever. Cool. Felt kind of weird sometimes, man. Like, damn.
I think I used to work with this person that would he would dress in drag, but I never really I always saw him as like normal
dress.
I don't know.
In his non-drag dress.
Non-drag. Yeah, I don't know what to call it.
Street clothing or whatever they call it.
The street fit. I always saw him in the street fit.
His street fit. I remember this one dude, like he was the normal guy or whatever, and then one day he came into Old Navy with a full face of makeup.
Surprise. Surprise.
Surprise, surprise. I like men. Nah, we could tell. You could tell you like guys.
Surprise.
What was your least favorite part about working retail?
I honestly like the retail gig.
That is your favorite job?
I think I do. We got like a set of new managers at one time, and like this lady was from Turkey, I want to say. Yeah, and she was the manager of she was like, so it was her level, and then one above her was like my head manager of the store.
She was like a supervisor or something.
Right, yeah. So, and like she wanted me to do everything by the book, wanted me to like say all the sentences like how they have them written out in Gap, like, hey, how are you doing today, have you heard about our Gap card, and all like the same sentences every time. Yeah, so but I didn't do that. Like I would actually talk to people, ask them how their day was,
because Dave was the guy that would be up there selling the cards.
Yeah, like shit. Gap cards, jeans, everything person. Yeah, I was all on the floor, and like I would, have an actual conversation with them. It wouldn't be the same sentences to each person. Yes. And she hated it. Like You're
like the dude who called, and instead of reading the sheet, you just freestyled it.
Yeah, basically.
And we're bringing in more people than the other guys to start getting mad.
Right.
Like, stick with the program, Rojas.
Yeah. And the head guy was cool. He was like, I mean, as long as you're selling the cards, like, because I would bring in like maybe 5 or 6 every week.
Credit cards? Damn, you would have been crushing it, Old Navy, dude.
At one point, I was doing a lot.
What did they call them? OCs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're actual credit cards. So I mean, I sometimes I feel bad about it, but I got like a whole week's vacation on Christmas because I'd sold like the most that month.
It's late. So, paid vacation?
No, I think it was just like extra time off, right? So, I mean, I still liked it because other people had to work Christmas and I was off. Yeah, I was off. But I mean, I was slinging those cards. I'd be there every day. Some days I'd be like, how, like, do you even know what this is? Like, do you even know it's a credit card? Like, some people would be kind of, yeah, just do it. And I'd be like, okay. And I don't know if their credit was all messed up or if they're in debt now, but I hope not.
I was only in the store, Old Navy, after hours.
Like stocking and stuff?
Stocking shifts. I was stock boy for like 2.5 years, bro.
Yeah.
But I moved up to be the person who would like design the
displays and
design the displays.
Yeah.
And I was still doing the labor, like, but I would also get to design it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in the boys section, holding it down for the boys.
Yeah, that was fun.
And my favorite thing about that job was probably that I could just go in there and wear headphones and no one would fucking bother me.
Chilling. Would you go in at like the middle of the night, like 3 and 4?
About 4 a.m.
Really?
From 4 o'clock to like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that was wicked.
They had me running that bitch. I was doing the work of like 2 or 3 people, like new people. You know what I mean? I was so valuable, and they would not pay me more. So eventually, I just said, "Fuck it, I'm out." But I remember we had this one supervisor, and she's really the reason I quit. She was such a bitch, and I would remember like thinking, "How do you act like such a bitch for like $12 an hour? It's just not worth it to be such a big bitch." And she would drink the green Hawaiian punch every single day. We had a big ass thing of it in the break room. She would just take her big old green Hawaiian punch and fucking drink it in the morning with donuts.
Sipping on it
at 5 in the morning. She'd be like, "You don't want one?" Nah, I'm good. I brought a pack of almonds. I remember sometimes they'd put me in the fitting room, and it was my worst nightmare. Things just start piling up in there on you.
Oh yeah, they'd be quick.
And then when you don't know where things go in the store, and Old Navy's so big, especially the women's section, and there's like jeans that have very slight differences. And shit.
You got to tell the difference. Yeah.
Oh fuck that! I was the worst. I was the worst daytime employee ever, but goated at doing it straight up introvert work at night. And I was stronger than everyone else that was in there because there's a bunch of gay guys and women I was working with. Yeah, it was a tough couple years when I was at Old Navy, man. It wasn't a good time of my life.
You're just waking up at 4, man. Waking up at 3.
Yeah, it was not a good time. I was not happy, I don't think. Thank God it's over. God, I don't have to do that anymore. I think about that all the time. Like,
what if you're still doing that?
I hated that job, man. Thank fucking God. I never worked fast food, did you?
No, not fast. It was like a little sandwich, or they called them pitas.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. You worked there for a long time, right?
A little bit, yeah. I'd like work there with like the person I was like going to be dating for a little bit.
No, I remembered.
I would never really recommend that.
How was it working?
No, don't do it. Don't work with someone that you're going to be.
And y'all were probably working like side by side making sandwiches together.
Yeah, like right next to each other. Don't do it. It's not as fun as you'd think it would be.
Did y'all have sandwich making chemistry?
No.
All right,
it was always like
the mayonnaise. I'll put the pickles.
The days we would work, we would always be like fighting or something that day. So it'd just be the worst fucking day ever. Right?
Was it one of those relationships where you fight more than you are good?
Yeah, probably.
That's the worst, man. The fucking worst.
Get out of those relationships.
Once the you can never get out of those relationships
too soon.
Those are the hardest to leave.
Yeah. You can never get out too soon, and you'll probably want to go back.
You always get out way too late.
It's not worth it.
Because you're just over it.
It's like you're addicted to that toxicity.
Yeah, I would not recommend dating someone that you work with. But I guess a lot of people meet someone at work, but I feel like usually they stop working together after they get together.
Yeah,
someone else has to leave.
Hook up.
All right, so we're just going to do one advice read today.
Mm-hmm.
We're here with the doctor himself, Dr. Dave.
This man those initials have been taken from me.
This man took one psychology class in college, so
I did.
Let's get it going. I remember that.
That was a fun class.
So she says, so long story, but here we go. It's actually not that long. So I met my ex in January of 2019, and we started talking/dating in February.
Nice.
I got pregnant in April.
Oh, no.
That boy went from nice to, oh, no. So they started talking in February, and she got pregnant 2 months later.
3 months later. Well.
He was there the whole pregnancy, went to all my appointments, yada, yada, yada.
Oh. What's the yada, yada, yada part? There's got to be a little extra there.
And I wish I knew how old you were.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
They should really put the ages in here.
We were saving up to get a place together, so I guess she's at least probably in her 20s.
A couple.
She looks pretty young in the picture that's here. We were saving up to get a place together, and we even had our wedding planned for next summer.
Nice.
Well, in May, he got called to help with COVID relief stuff. He's in the National Guard. Oh, no.
The whole guard.
He's going out to sea.
He's going to go save some lives, maybe.
Gonna go bang some prostitutes in Taiwan. I'm just playing. And I'd go visit him with our daughter. Well, the last week he was away, he wasn't answering my text or calls.
Uh-oh. Here comes the real deep stuff.
He's not a family man after all. He was there during the pregnancy, man. Oh, I'm sure if you have kids very young, you probably think, man, my life is over. And then you probably have another point where you're like, I don't want my life to be over.
What have I done?
Oh, definitely. You definitely have to have a what have I done moment if you're not financially stable.
Yeah.
I knew he was chasing a promotion. Oh, is that what he was chasing?
I don't even. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means.
He's working hard, man. He's trying to trying to lick those boots.
He's chasing something.
He's chasing some tail. Some nana.
So tough.
I knew he was chasing a promotion, so I assumed he was just focused. Turns out he was cheating on me.
Oh, no. Those old National Guard guys.
Usually they're the ones getting cheated on.
Usually, yeah. But if it's not, that's the other way around.
They got to keep them close. Like, hey, come stay on the base with me. Let's get married. That's the classic move, right? Hey, I can't get this house, unless we get married. Can't get these benefits.
Get my tax write-offs.
My old Camaro. They don't give me the Camaro unless I'm married. And you got to get pregnant.
And you have a little one on the way.
Yeah. She's like, no, I don't. I'm like, yeah, you do. Turns out he was cheating on me. So, that's sad especially because they have a daughter together.
Yeah, real sad. Lo siento.
Once he finally admitted he cheated, he ghosted me and his child for almost a month.
Dang, what?
It's one thing to ghost just a regular chick that you were engaged to, but to ghost your baby
and the little girl.
What the baby do?
What did the baby do?
It's like when they're like, I'm putting that fake shit in the past, and they blur out the baby.
I'm putting that picture.
I found out who the woman was and told her everything, and 4 months later they're still together, even though they live 2 hours apart. Dang. Oh yeah, distance ain't a thing for a man in the military. He probably likes it better that way.
He'd be driving.
His buddies.
He has 3 families now.
Yeah, and his fucking buddy in the military butt bangs him.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, so they're still together even though they live 2 hours apart. I'm so angry and hurt, but I've grown a lot because of this. My problem now is he refused to terminate his parental rights and claims he wants to be in his daughter's life even though he never comes to see her or asks about her. So, I would think that she's probably just trying to get him out of her life just out of spite because she's mad.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, he does still have a right to see his daughter, even no matter how he treated you, to be honest. But I think it's super fucked up. He ghosted you and
the kid.
And now he's still asking for rights. It's a tricky situation.
Yeah, as it always is with the young one.
And especially if you two are young. I mean, just because he might be irresponsible now doesn't mean in 10 years he's going to be the same guy who doesn't want to see his kid.
Yeah. He might change, maybe. Probably not.
Maybe we've been giving him too much of the benefit of the doubt so far, Dave.
Maybe he's asshole.
Scumbag. Fuck
He's
him.
a dick.
Hey,
doesn't see his kids.
If you want to try to take him away, right now would be the time to do it. Like, if you want him to never really have custody over the kids, As fucked up as that is to say.
Bring up the
while he's fucking up, bring up the cheating, bring up the ghosting, and do that. If that's really what you want to do. But I'm just saying that sometimes the way people are when they first have a kid isn't the way they're going to be in 5, 10, maybe even 1 year.
Yeah. I wish we had the age would be. I think that's like a big part of the whole thing.
Well, and I think it takes some people some time to come to terms with the fact that they're going to be a father.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they're younger.
Oh, 100%. And like I said, not financially stable.
Yeah, I hope I don't have to come to the life event until I'm at least in my 30s.
Yeah, I hope to be about 30 years old when I have a kid. And married. I hope to not have a kid with someone I'm not married to. That's another huge thing for me. Like, I don't want to get married just because we're having a kid.
Yeah, that'd be strange. That's like the old-fashioned way, right? Like the old.
Like you have to get married first?
Or like they
got married because they're having a kid.
Like
that's like the we don't want to be shunned back in the day thing. Yeah.
I don't want to be kicked out of the church or something.
Anyways, let me get through the rest of this real quick. I'm so angry and hurt, but I have grown a lot because of this. My problem now is he refused to terminate his parental rights. Oh, wait, I already read that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, here it is. Should I keep asking for money from him to cover the baby's expenses, or should I say fuck it and just figure it out on my own? Like I said, if you're going to say fuck him and take away all his parental rights, then yeah, you have to be prepared to financially take care of yourself and the baby.
Yeah, probably. I mean, eventually if you want him out of your life for sure, then you'd probably not want him contributing anything, right? I mean,
but if he's there...
I don't know how much those payments are.
It's a percentage of your income, I think.
Yeah.
And it can vary depending on what the judge decides. But the basic package, I'm not sure what it is. But
well, if you do cut him out, then that would be
But what's the harm if he's already not wanting to come around, and you can just take his money? Why don't you take his money? I guess her fear is probably that later on he's going to try to come for custody.
He's going to want some visitations.
I would think the way her thinking is that her kid and her control over her own kid is probably more important to her than the money. I would think that's the way she's writing the email.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can support yourself. And this guy's being a real scumbag. I admit what he did to you was fucked up.
Kick him to the curb.
I don't think we addressed that enough. Fuck cheaters, man. I don't fuck with that bullshit. Do you?
Yeah, no.
Dave's like, yep.
Kick him out. Find a new one.
Finds a new one. I mean,
or not. Maybe you just live on your own.
It is kind of a scumbag thing to do, to get a girl pregnant and then you just fuck her over like that.
And then you just dip forever.
Yeah. So I feel bad, you know. I think
story's as old as time. I think
you should move however you want, right? Do whatever you want to do. You're the one that's been hurt.
Trust your gut. Trust your instincts.
You're the one still being responsible, so you follow your best instinct.
Yeah. Trust your heart chakra.
But yeah, that was the advice portion. We're just gonna do one today. Dave's got to get out of here in a little bit, so yeah, I guess we're pretty much gonna be wrapping right now.
Yeah, I'll see you in the next one on the sunny side.
Lakers in 5 games.
They're winning.
They're gonna win.
Back to the Stros, man. We actually won. We actually beat the Twins. I don't know who they're playing next, but hopefully they can pull it off.
Fuck everyone who's doubted the Astros this year. I see Dave's got the Astros cap back out.
Hey, I hope it's actually the Astros and Yankees again, and
so they can shut the fuck up.
No, I actually have a theory that it's going to be the Astros and Yankees, and they're not going to let the Astros play. They're just going to say, since y'all cheated last year, the Yankees win this year. That's how it's going to go.
That's what Trump's trying to do with the election, man. He said if it's not him, that he's going to, like, if he doesn't get elected and it's close, that he's just going to say, protest the election. And I think he will. And I've watched this video about how he could make it possible to where he could remain in office based on like the way the cabinet and the Supreme Court and everything is set up with a bunch of Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
He could actually force himself back in.
Maybe.
But I guess
we'll see.
We'll talk about that next week.
We'll see how it goes.
I want to thank my co-host for being here. Let us know what y'all thought about the new setup. I don't know if it was too casual, but I thought it was. I felt a lot better. I felt really comfortable this time.
I like it. I like this new setup.
I felt a lot more comfortable. So yeah, thanks for watching,
Kicking
guys.
Chilling on the couch.
Yeah, man. Means a lot to us.
Oh yeah. We'll see you on the next one.
And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Uh-huh. Adios. Bye.